Hey everybody, welcome to today's mini lesson. Today we will be focusing on the Unit 2 proportions review. What is a ratio? I'm going to go into the definition. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities, numbers. So if you see these two examples, you can write a ratio as a comparison, as a ratio 3:2. And you could write it also as write a ratio like a fraction, 3/2. Don't forget, it compares a part of a quantity to the whole quantity. I repeat, it compares a part of a quantity to the whole quantity. Next part, important vocab. What is a proportion? A proportion is an equality of two ratios. Let's look at some of the examples of a proportion. So where do we see proportions, or what do we remember watching proportions in our previous lessons earlier in the school year? We can see it written, compared. So if you see this picture, you have one yellow marble to a total of 3 marbles. You also see on the right 2 yellow marbles to a total of 6 marbles. You also see it written in our percent unit, which we talked about tax, tip, and discount. Percent is always out of 100, is over of, part to whole, and this helps us set up and know where to substitute certain values. The original price and the part is literally a part, tax, tip, and discount. You also can see it in pictures. You compare what is the ratio of blue circles to pink, or you could say fuchsia triangles. And you can see it written in, see a lot of pictures. You have this image over here, which you're seeing the size of the head of the dog, 10/20, the length of its back. Compare it to the dog that has 15, whatever units that is, the length of his head, for the tail all the way to the back. And you can see it just written as a simple proportion. 3/9 equals x over 27. And this is where we're going to use our cross multiplication to solve for that x, and then use a regular one-step equation afterwards. So this is one of the ones that, if we remember back in Unit 2, you see your two ratios, 2/5 equals 3/x. Let's try to see how we solve this one. You're going to use your cross products to set up an equation to find the missing value x. So you're going to multiply and do your butterfly wings. 2 times x, and then 5 times 3. You would use your pencil to literally make those butterfly wings, and that basically is 2 times x equals 3 times 5. You're going to just simplify. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times x is 2x. And you're going to undo the multiplication, right? 2 is being multiplied by x. Divide by sides, both sides by 2. And that gives you the answer x equals 7.5. If you wanted to check your answer to make sure that was correct, you would substitute that 7.5 into the equation, and that would give you the answer to make sure you got this correct. Now, what are the steps to solve a proportion in a word problem? Important steps. Write these down or memorize them. Read the word problem to identify the word ratio. Write the word ratio. Repeat. Read the word problem to identify the word ratio and write the word ratio. 2. Write the proportion. Double check, are your units correctly set up? Making sure your units, however you organize them, are the same for the number that represents the top of your fraction, your numerator, and the denominator. And you'll see as we look at more examples later on. And lastly, solve for the unknown using cross multiplication. So let's look at this example right here in front of you. Jose can read 7 pages of his book in 5 minutes. At this rate, how long will it take him to read the entire 75-page book? So what we're going to do over here is just use the numbers that we see in the word problem. Jose can read 7 pages of his book, so we're just going to write that in this table, in this fraction, in our proportion. 7, and we say that he reads it in 5 minutes. So our units on the top are pages, and everything on the bottom is minutes. At this rate, how long will it take him to read the entire 175-page book? I noticed that my units on the top represented, we'll be talking about pages, so I'm going to put 175 on the top. And we're trying to find out how long will it take him, to read 175 pages. We don't know, so we're going to put X there. Now we're just simply going to do our cross multiplication. We're going to circle this. Oops, not doing too well. And that basically is 7 times X. And we're going to circle our other side, making that beautiful butterfly wing. Not too beautiful right now. 175 times 5. Okay. You're going to just use your Desmos calculator, make that calculation. So you have 175 times 5. That gives us 875. And we're just going to undo that 7 divided by X by dividing both sides by the coefficient. And, of course, I write too big. I'm going to divide both sides by 7. And that gives you 125. So the solution, Jose will read an entire 175-page book in 125 minutes. Okay, let's go to the next problem. Problem number 2. Chelsea is 6 miles from AMC movie theater in Tyson's Corner. On your map, the scale is 3 inches to 8 miles. How far is the movie theater on the map? So I'm going to use my information in a word problem. Hint, this is a scale problem. Write it as it appears on the problem, inches to miles. So I see that on your map, the scale is 3 inches. Let's try this out. Okay, so we have 3 inches to 8 miles. And Chelsea is 6 miles from the movie theater. I noticed my top both is inches. Both units on the top are inches, and the units below are miles. So I know that she is 6 miles from the movie theater. I see them labeled downstairs, or in the denominator is miles, and I don't know how far she is on the map. So I put my numbers in the correct units on the numerator. I'm just going to cross multiply, do my butterfly wings. And as I circle it, I just like to make sure 3 times X, and 3 times 6, and circle my other sides. That is 8 times X. Okay, 3 times 6 is 18, and I have 8X. Remember, I want to always divide by the coefficient. I want to solve what X is. So if I divide both sides by 8, we're going to use our calculator. We're going to type in 18 divided by 8. That gives us the answer of 2.25 hundredths. So how far is the movie theater on the map? It is 2.25 hundredths of an inch. Okay, problem number. Melek is 6 feet tall and cast a shadow of 2 feet. If the Washington Monument cast a shadow that is 328 feet long, what is the height of the Washington Monument? Hence, look at your picture. So I see that Melek is 6 feet tall. I'm going to just put that information in. So she is 6 feet. And I notice my label Melek's here. And I know that she cast a shadow, and I'm looking at my picture, of 2 feet. I put that right there. And I know that the Washington Monument cast a shadow of 328 feet. I'm just going to write that in here. And I do not know the height. Hence, look at your word problem. What is the height of the Washington Monument? Putting X. So then we do the same old thing. We're going to cross multiply. So that's 328 times 6 equals, circle that over there, 2x. We're going to multiply 328 times 6. That gives us 1,968. And we're going to divide both sides by that coefficient, which is 2. And 1968 divided by 2. That gives us 984 feet. That's the actual height of the Washington Monument. All right, next one. What is tax? So we also reviewed this in Unit 2. Tax is an additional amount you pay for a purchase. Tax is always calculated as a percent. What is tip? Tip is an additional amount you pay to a person for their service. Tip is always calculated also as a percent, hence this picture over here. And discount, my favorite word. Discount is the amount subtracted from the original price. Discount is always calculated as a percent. See this beautiful Target sign? Who doesn't love a discount or a sale? So how do we calculate tax, tip, and discount? You're going to need to set up a proportion by using this formula to find the tax, tip, or discount. Percent is always out of 100. Your original price is on the bottom of your fraction, and the top is tax, tip, and discount. So let's read this problem. Nicholas purchased a Nintendo Switch for $299. That is your original price. I'm going to put $299.99. And the sales tax is 7%. We know that percent is always over 100. 7 over 100. What is the total cost? This is a two-step process. For let's just do our regular cross multiplication. That's 100 times x equals $299.99 times 7. We're just going to use that in our calculator. 299 times 7, and that gives us 2,099.93. Oops. And we're going to divide both sides by 100. And once you do that, forgive my slowness, divide it by 100, and that gives us your actual tax is $20, and really it's 21 because it's 999, so it's $21 is your tax. But in a two-step process, you need to add the tax to your actual original price. So you have $299.99 plus your $21, which is your tax. You're going to add those together. 99, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3. Your actual total price that you pay is $320.99. Have the best of luck on the next part of your lesson, which is your vocab practice. Good luck, you all. Totally can do it. Have a good rest of your day.